Needless to say, I'm disappointed in the game. I know the players are as well. I knew that Appalachian State was a great team just because as a coach you have the luxury of watching a lot of film. And so you have an understanding as teams continue to practice and playing games are going to get better. I feel the same way about my team, to be honest with you. As we continue on this path, we're going to continuously get better, especially because I think we had more of a learning curve. But in Appalachian State's case, their opportunity to beat South Alabama in that first round of conference play at home really solidified them. Played a tough Troy team, played into overtime up at UTA, who's a very good team as well, and then come here and beat us pretty soundly, to be honest with you. Really is a testament to kind of where they've taken their program. With that being said, there's definitely some areas that I know that we can get better. There's a pattern right now of not taking good shots, which really puts a lot of stress on our defense. And then obviously there's the rebounding tonight. We lost rebounding battle. We go up against one of the top rebounding teams 2 days ago when we won the rebounding battle. This again is another top. They're in the top 3 in rebounding as well in a few categories, and then we lose a rebounding battle by 11 points. I think there's a lot to be said for that. Take away the fact that we have some of our kids that traditionally score for us have an off night. Outside of that, I really go back to our poor shot selection or lack of execution on the offensive end, stressing out our defense. And then when we did force them into some tough shots, we did not do a good job of getting those rebounds. Number 23, he's new to the conference. We talked a lot about her. We game planned for her for sure. She hit some tough threes. If you took a look at her stats before she played in the UTA game, she was in the teens in three-point shooting. Then she came out, and you could tell the kid's a player just watching the games. Now it's boom, boom, back to back in the 2 Texases. It's kind of coming together for her. So I think there was an awareness, but, man, we played zone. The kid was just knocking down threes. And she did a pretty good job of carrying her team as far as being able to lift them up by hitting some of those tough shots. But outside of that, there is, and even with that being said, with Ashley, number 23, I think it was a good understanding of who this team was. We just struggled executing within the game.
Coach, why do you feel like, or Bailey and Brooke, why do you guys feel like the energy from Thursday's win wasn't able to carry over into this game?
I think when we came out and they got from the get-go a few offensive rebounds back to back, that just put a damper on our energy because we knew that that's what they did well and that's what we needed to focus on, and we weren't doing what we were game planning for. So I think that just kind of got people down.
What would you characterize were some of the troubles, specifically from y'all's end, of going up against Bailey Plummer, who's physically one of the more imposing figures I've seen you'll have to play against this year? What were some of the challenges of getting around her, trying to drive inside?
Well, it's just tough. Well, she's a great rebounder. She leads the conference in rebounding. And it's just tough. You can't really drive in. She's a great shot blocker, and their guards do a great job of perimeter defense. So we just didn't quite figure out a way to expose her sitting in the paint, and we just need to learn from it for the next time we play them.
Coach, why do you feel like your team is struggling with shot selection at this point in the season?
I don't know if we're struggling overall. I think that last game we struggled with a little bit because it didn't come so easy. People are able to scout, and that's what I talked to our team about. As you continuously scout, then you have opportunities to be able to jam people up with what they do well, correct? So then you have to be able to make adjustments. I think because we have such a young playing experience team, the understanding of, okay, it's not happening as fast, why not, forces they tighten up. So last game against Coastal, we just did a better job with what I consider timeout response coming out of the half, understanding that, starting to execute, and when we started to execute, then we're able to get in defense position and, we got some breathing room. In this game, I can't really talk to you as to why that happened again, back-to-back games, but we were never able to make the adjustment, and we talked about it again at halftime. The look is different, though, because obviously they got a big kid like Bailey Plummer, so how we're going to get to those scores is going to happen differently. That might be part of the reason why. I think that the lack of trust in how we're going to get to our good shots happen. But I do think that we're going to be able to bounce back from this, to be honest with you. Now, granted, we're going on the road to Little Rock, who's the best, nationally one of the top defensive teams in the country. But we also have had the opportunity to play against them and have an understanding of, how they're going to play. They're not going to look different. Coach Foley does not change what he does. So it's going to be a matter of showing them on game film on Monday where we slipped up or where we had some game slippage and how for the next opportunity against Appalachian State or anyone else with a very similar game plan or personnel type, we're going to be able to get to some of those scores. But that's generally what happens, and that's my thinking right now, is just that as teams change and shift and as they scout, then they have the ability to make things tougher. Well, then that's when we have to change. Maybe you have to make an extra pass, maybe run a different play, maybe run a screen a little bit differently to get to some of the more quality looks. And that allows you to get back defensively, to get in good position, because now you don't have people taking off balance shots, bad shots, where everybody we're all kind of in sync together.
And then just going forward, like you said, this was a very physical game. It's kind of a slap in the mouth the way Appalachian State was able to play y'all. But how do you feel that's going to benefit your teammates, especially the young ones that were getting exposed to this kind of play, for a relative shift going forward against a Little Rock team that's been the top of the Sun Belt the last couple of years?
I think it just showed us how physical teams are in the Sun Belt Conference, and that people are gonna give their best against us every game, so we have to come out with our best and know our game plan and follow it.